In this video, we have three very good IEMs under $100. The first one that I have with me is the EA500, not the LM variant. I find that to be slightly less defined and the clarity wasn't great, while this one is a bit more defined and closer to the EA1000 than the LM variant. So this is my preferred IEM of the two. In any case, this one is priced at $75, I think 75 dollars, and uses a single DD. The next one is the newer IEM of this lot, the Kefine Delci. This one too has a 10 dynamic driver. This one is priced at $60. They have the MRP of 75 but is priced at $60. The next IEM that I have with me is the Oriveti OD100. I like this a lot too. This one is very similar to the EA500 and is very well defined. This one is priced at $60 and houses a 9.4 mm, 9.4 or 9.7 mm dynamic driver. All these are dynamic driver based IEMs, and if we start with the EA500, I like this more than the LM. As I said, uh, in this comparison, this one is similar to the OD100, yet the base is a bit on the heavier side, and we get slightly better definition in the texture and on the body of the note. Sub bass extension is decent. It has decent amount of rumble, but the mid bass is a bit more prominent. Area of impact is a bit on the average side, and the punch is focused. But what happens is that it hits the note, bass note hits with a punch, while the outer body of that note is not that well defined. So that is the issue with this bass. It is punchy with little definition afterwards. Okay, the decay is not that well defined, so it kind of feels slightly less capable in the layered definition, or else it is decent, no issues with that. Decay is slightly on the faster side, not very slow, not very fast, but it still is a bit on the faster side, and dynamics are good. I like the dynamics, no issues with the dynamics at all. And if we move on to the Kefine Delci, I like Delci a lot. I like Delci a lot, but there is a bit of uh, uh, I'll say lack of technical abilities with the Delci when it comes to bass. It is very good. Okay, I like the sub bass rumble and extension better than both of these. So this is fantastic when it comes to sub bass, and the rumble is very good, but the bass is not big. Okay, the impact is a bit on the smaller side. It is a bit more precise, or I'll have to say petite. It is not that uh, big with the area. Okay, it is more punchy, and the punch is more concentrated. There is little to no outer body to that, and thanks to that it kind of feels a bit more monotonous. Okay, it cannot hit the more difficult notes like the upper bass notes that cleanly. It is slightly monotonous, and layer and definition are decent. Mid bass is not that prominent, and this monotonous kind of feeling can be engaging to some because it is bassy, evenly bassy throughout. So that is fun for some. If we move on to the OD100, as I said, this is very similar to what we get with the EA500 LM, very similar, but the bass is slightly more faster. Okay, we get slightly better sub bass depth. Mid bass is more prominent too. Fuller area of impact, bigger area of impact, and the bass doesn't feel heavy. Okay, It is the lightest, more faster base of this lot. Dynamics are very good dynamics and very well layered. I like this. And if we talk about the mid range is slightly V-shaped, nicely textured, very good definition. They are still a bit less taller than the instruments. Instruments are a bit more taller, while the vocals are slightly less tall. We get very good texture and definition with the vocals too, but they can feel slightly drier, okay, a bit less natural. And if we move on to the EA500, EA500 is uh, blessed with a slightly taller vocals, but can be a bit more thin. Okay, it's not very natural. The body is not that comfortable. Okay, there is a bit of sharpness to it. Same is true for instruments too. Good attack, very good clarity, nice tonality, very neutral tonality and timbre too. Good accuracy, no issues. Technically, I'll say this is good, but not very pleasing. If we move on to the Delci, we too have a slightly V-shaped signature with the Delci, but the mid-range is very well tuned. I'll have to say it's very cohesive, slightly more fuller than the other two, and it has very good texture. The throatiness we get with the male vocals is available with the Delci. It has slightly less energy up top that kind of feels comfortable. It gives us a feeling that it is not trying to be attacking, and that is what is good about this. Instruments are not as attacking as the OD100 or EA500 LM, so that is a good thing too. And it is fairly comfortable. A bit of burn-in, and I felt this one is a much more comfortable IEM than it was initially. And if we move on to the treble is more consistent on the Delci. Okay, there is there was a bit of lower treble energy, I think, but that is nowhere to be found now. It is much more smoother now and very comfortable. I find it to be the most extended one here. Layering and separation is very good transparency. It is not as energetic or transparent as this two, but this two have a bit of flaw. Okay, we will talk about that in a while. If we move on to the OD100, we get decent extension. There is a bit more energy in the lower and mid treble region. It is very good. For $60, you cannot ask a lot. Layering and separation is good. Accuracy of instrument placement is very good too. But the upper treble is a bit on the darker side. I'll have to say it is not as forward as the lower or mid treble region. So upper treble is not exactly great with this one, while the rest is. If we move on to the EA500 LM, this too is very good with the treble and very similar to the OD100. We get very good definition, energy, agility with the lower and mid treble instruments. Very good. No issues with that. Nice energy and texture too. Upper treble is as similar to the OD100, less forward, not very well extended either. But the issue with the EA500 LM is that it can feel a bit thin, okay, slightly thinner than expected. So that is the issue with the EA500. Or else it is fairly comfortable, no issues. I didn't find it to be bothering at all. And if we talk about stage, these two are very similar, tall, not wide, and good with the accuracy and stuff. Precision, accuracy is good, instrument placement is better than others. But if we talk about the Delci, it is not as accurate as these two, but the stage is bigger. The sonics are more pleasing. There is a bit of reverb, extra bit of reverb to it that feels more cohesive, more engaging. So that is what the Delci is all about. And if I have to summarize, These two are a bit on the aggressive side. They are not very musically tuned, but are very capable when it comes to technical abilities. Very, very well defined IEMs, a bit on the slightly drier side. This one is thin, this one is slightly dry. Uh, Crispy, this one is kind of sharpish. While the Delci is the best of the lot, I like it a lot. This is not aggressive, and the energy and everything kind of feels more comfortable. The bass could have been slightly more dynamic, but that is okay. No issues with that at all. So, this is my comparison of three very good IEMs under $100. Thank you for watching, guys. Have a nice day. Enjoy.